Welcome back. It is Parents versus Gaming, episode 21. We're rolling along here. We got a new face returning, filling in for Jordan tonight. Let me introduce you to the cast. All the way on the end, we've got Kia again, Miss Kia Kane. Kia, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Amazing. And of course, with his product placement there in the middle as we go to talk about marketing and advertising tonight and kind of what works, what doesn't work, and what's considered trolling and is just plain bad. Right in the middle, Mr. U.S. Bobber. Jay Noller. Jay, how are you?
I'm really concerned right now. I have a stack of peanut butter cookies and I missed lunch, and so I'm really concerned that you're going to hear me crunching throughout this episode. So if just give me like a one of these or a grossed out face if you hear me just snacking away.
I mean, I don't know the difference between this and what you're normally on with your soapbox, so I think we'll be fine.
It'll be a peanut butter cracker fueled soapbox. Let's go.
For sure. All right, let's talk about our week real quick. Kia, what's been going on with you? Family,
Not much, man.
kids, gaming.
Yeah, all of the above. Not much we've been doing. I know my husband had to go over to his papa's old house and clean up some branches that fell over during a storm.
Ooh. Was it bad?
It wasn't too bad. It was on his papa's shop, which is a big metal shop. And from what I understand, there wasn't really any damage. But they wanted to get it cleaned up.
Gotcha.
But Kane's been like so bad today.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. He's just like he's in one of those phases where he's being really disrespectful and rude. And it's like, dude, I don't know what's going on with him. I was talking to my dad about it. He's like, kids just go through that. He's like, they just go through that. And I'm like, I know, Dad, but it's just bad today. So, yeah, it's just one of those. And like, as we talk about him, he shows up.
He shows up. And
yes, Kane,
Jay, what about you? You asked us not to speak
we'll go sit
about a particular topic, but people might want to know. It's been an ongoing thing. Tell us about the Idaho Horsemen and if anything happened there. As you're eating, I can see you're super concerned about their season.
Hang on, I'm masticating on camera right now. Give me a second. We lost our third game in a row this weekend. So we're not where you want to be going into the playoffs. We're stumbling and tripping all over ourselves going in. But on a better note, Bishop Kelly football does start, or actually started this last week. So the high school that I coach at, we're just got our power rankings, and we're the top rank 4A school in the state so far this year. So
it's a lot of pressure.
We'll see what happens. Every year, it's the it's like Ohio State, but we win. So there's those big preseason poll expectations, and then we live up to them every year. Whereas Ohio, we'll see what happens. They'll probably trip over themselves at some point about week 8.
You know what? I'm gonna let you have it. I'm not gonna partake in this. I will say that I was in someone's stream last week, and I asked them about the Horsemen, and I said, what's up with your arena team? Are you screwing up? And I was told that the fault lies on the defensive coordinator.
We can chat about that off camera. I'm going to be very PC, and it's a team sport. There's 3 phases, and got to have all 3 phases popping in one direction. So, but on a side note, I do have to tell you, first of all, this will not be a clean presentation this week. I'm back. You son of a bitch. You've now got me playing Splitgate, and you've got my son playing Splitgate now. And so you're an asshole, because that's what I needed is more video games to play in my very limited downtime.
I mean, yeah, that kind of leads into my week. My week has been full of work and Splitgate. I actually eclipsed to level 103, I think, right now. moving up the rank charts. I have to play by myself a lot, which kind of sucks. And watching Jay's camera freeze and then speed up while he's chewing is pretty intense. If anyone saw that,
it's kind of funny. It's like fast forwarding. I keep seeing it happen. Like
it's super fun. I like the transparency of the developers and what they got going on and what they want to do. They ask the community what they think they want or what we want. I also made the community streamer with the game as well, which is pretty cool. You have to apply for that. Of course, not partner because I only have 3 or 4 people watching me at a time and not 50 like you need. But it's still kind of cool to be that involved in the game and try to give feedback and be able to help out where I can. But with that being said, we talked about the transparency last week. I do want to jump in our first topic because we cannot do any kind of gaming podcast with at least mentioning this. The PlayStation exclusive abandoned. Holy cow, what a nightmare. Jay, I know you probably didn't look hardly anything up on it, even though I asked you to. But basically... I'd
like to point out that I did look it up.
Oh, nice.
No. I did about an hour worth of research today, you dick.
So, I'm just going to give my piece, and I'm going to turn it over to the two people that really, have been with the PlayStation a lot more. My opinion is where this has gone, with them coming out, 2 months ago saying we are not affiliated with Konami or Silent Hill or Kojima. We don't want any of that. They even had someone come on camera like crying and being upset. We don't want this. They're either Kojima is taking it to a new level to try to come up with surprises, because it is hard to come up with surprises in the industry, whether it's movies, games, and I get that. But if it is not a Kojima game and it is not Silent Hill, then this marketing team, I mean, granted, they've even got our small podcast talking about it. They're viral every time they even mention anything. But man, do I partially hope that it's an absolute disaster, just so I can laugh at a few of the Sony people. So that's my take. I think if it's not a Kojima or Silent Hill game at this point, I just don't see what they're doing. I don't see why Sony would allow them to tease like it is that, even though they keep saying it isn't that. I mean, they even had the Metal Gear character on one of their like shaded covers. I'm mind boggled. So let me turn it over to Kia first, and then we'll get to Jay. Kia, your take on this Abandoned and Blue Studios and all this.
I'll be honest, I did like 5 minutes of research on it because I had D&D today. Yes, Jay beat me on the research thing. But I was also a last minute guest, so I really didn't have to do a lot of research on it. But just the little bit that I've found, I'm very confused. I'm like, how is this? I don't know. I can see why people would be upset, and I can see why people would think it's just a joke.
I mean, they made you go on your PlayStation, download a 5 gigabyte app just to show the same thing they had shown 3 days before on Twitter, on their own Twitter account.
Yeah,
so
but you go back and it's like they're saying like tweets have been deleted, like they're deleting their tweets. They're like, oh my God, that doesn't look sketchy at all.
Jay, what about you?
Hang on, I haven't been on the show in a week or two, so hang on. I'm looking around for my soapbox. It's a little dusty. This is a... Sorry, trying to cut back on the language. This is a damn joke. You've got to be kidding me, right? Like, this could be the worst marketing rollout of all time. It's... So, from what I've been able to find, is Blue Box has screwed the pooch on this before, on other games going all the way back to like 2015.
Correct.
Oh, we've got a game. We changed our mind. Oh, we've got another game. No, we've changed our mind. Like, what the hell are they doing over there? It's like a bunch of monkeys doing terrible things to a football over there. I just don't understand. And then from, okay, and then looking at it from like a marketing professional standpoint, like, when PlayStation comes out and goes, seriously, no, they're not doing it, they're really not doing it because they can't do it. Just because of legality reasons and everything, like who owns the trademark, everything. What you typically look for with a big tease is, oh, we're making a game. Isn't Silent Hill? Check us out, blah, blah, blah. They don't actually answer the damn question. They've answered the question. It's not what everyone was hoping for. It's a shitbox. So It's some sort of randomness, and what they're trying to do is just split hairs and try to come up with something that maybe is as close to as possible without actually doing it. And then at the same time, I don't even know if they actually have a damn game. Because I have seen people, like small entrepreneurial companies and stuff, go, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. Look, it's fantastic." And everyone goes, "Oh yeah, that's a fantastic idea." And then the investors start coming, and then they actually start fleshing out the game, fleshing out all this other piece. The only thing that disturbs me is 5 gigs is a lot of damn information for a 5-second trailer.
Of a guy walking across the floor.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they even looked up the music, everything about it. It even in the music, the lyrics. If you look up the music and hear the lyrics part of it, people found this really quickly. It's back from like 2015 or something. It's like this, like they found it on Spotify or something like that. In there, it talks about the hills being silent. I mean, and like I said, using a Metal Gear character, using things that do nothing but scream Silent Hill. If you're Sony and this. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you 2 different questions. Okay. If it is not Silent Hill and it is 100% not Kojima, don't you think at some point Sony needs to step in themselves and be like, "Hey, we don't know what they're doing. It's not these things. Good luck." But I mean, again, when their PS3 and the PS Vita were shutting down, they didn't even make comment about that, and that was their own console. So I personally think they'll just leave the studio out to dry. But on the flip side of that, if this is there is a part of me that still thinks this is Kojima, because he loves to tease fake studios and all this. And if it is him, and he's just trying different ways to, trick PlayStation fans, because this is like the love child of like the diehard survivor horror PlayStation fan, that they just want to throw shade at every Xbox or PC player in the world. This would be the mothership of it. Do you think if it is him, and somehow he got the IP from Konami to be able to make this game, are they trolling too much? Are they trolling too far? Is this a slap in the face to PlayStation fans?
It really feels like this is... Okay, so not to get political, but I've always loved the phrase that Donald Trump is what a poor person thinks a rich man is. And I think this is kind of the same thing. Like, this is almost like what a very young, inexperienced marketing team thinks a trolling, teasing rollout looks like. I would say, and if all roads lead to incompetence, then that's the answer, right? Like, there are plenty of people who are in positions to do big things, to do big ideas that don't know what they're doing. And this might be it. This might be, maybe we trolled a little bit too far. And because it's gone past the point of trolling. Trolling is fun. Trolling is like everyone sits there and goes, ha ha ha, at the end of it. This is just, you guys suck. Like, I mean, because with PlayStation coming out and saying one thing, and then the studio coming out and saying one thing, and then they screwed up on, the app launch, and then it's the same content as it was a few days before. They just wanted you to download the app. Like, it's just a really, really, really terrible job if they are trolling. And I think you're absolutely right. I think they took it too far if they did, or they were so incompetent that now I don't want to see the game, because if they can't do a damn teaser trailer and do any sort of marketing thing on it, I don't know how much faith I have in the studio actually being able to produce anything.
Yeah, I don't, with the studio coming out and saying that they're not connected to Kojima and all that, and trying to, because it got really toxic. The fan base was really toxic to them, and if it's this small develop, and for a while I felt bad for them. I was like, wow, they threw out something that just had this vibe to it, and everyone just assumed it was Kojima. They got all kinds of crap, so they had to come out and say it wasn't Kojima. But once you say it's not Kojima, if you really aren't Kojima, why do you continue to put things out there that scream these concepts?
I mean, but here's the thing though, how many copycat games are out there? Every time that someone
copycat.
I 100% agree. But how many copycat games are out there? I mean, as soon as you have one successful game, there's going to be whether it's a first-person shooter or if it's a sports game or if it's whatever, you're going to have those copycats. And if they're looking for their niche and they say, okay, Silent Hill, that's God, we all in our studio, all of our developers, we really love that game. Let's make one just like it. The problem is they're not separating themselves. And so they really might be making a Silent Hill type game that's very close, but the problem is all the people there are so in love with that game. They're too close. They're too close. They went and got the same music off of Spotify because somebody in the office knew, hey, there's this Silent Hill thing. Maybe we should keep going with this. And there's no adult in the room going, calm down. Let's go with the same tone, but let's stop with all the references to Silent Hill, because at some point you're going to piss somebody off. And I think they've already pissed their fan base off. And now I think a lot of people who would be looking for that type of game are going to be so turned off by it. Thank you. Absolutely.
They're going to skip over it because they're too pissed off about it.
And Key, that's
a
question
that they know, that they love. Mm-hmm. And it's just, that's what's going to happen.
And that's a question I want to go over to you, and then we'll come back to Jay with the marketing side of it. With the Xbox and PlayStation being so tough to still get, right? And a lot of people are still on the fence. Maybe they stick with their PlayStation. Maybe they only play these free-to-plays, the Warzones, the Fortnites, the Apex, now Splitgate. They play these games that they can play cross-platform. So maybe you don't necessarily need a PlayStation. Maybe you get the cheaper Xbox Series S. Maybe you get a PC. Maybe you get the Steam Deck. Maybe you get the Series X. There's so many different options now. With the way that Microsoft is attacking the industry, right? And coming very strong with user-friendly and supportive of the community and doing all of that. And PlayStation seems to be trending the other way, just like it went from PS3 to PS4, the Xbox to Xbox 360. We saw that trend, and it flipped. Xbox was super anti-consumer. They did everything wrong with the Xbox One. Now they're doing it, it's flipped once again. Could this be something that, as the PS5s and the Xboxes start to become readily available and the Steam Deck comes out, that may sway a large majority of group that is always in between, not sure which console to get? Do you think this could hurt Sony?
I think so. Honestly, I feel like Sony's already shit the bed, and I love Sony. I love PlayStation. I've always been a PlayStation person. My dad started me out on PC and PlayStation. Those were the two things I always started out with as far as when it came to gaming. And I have just recently switched to PC because I could not get my hands on a PS5. And it kind of broke my heart a little bit because I really didn't want to. But there are a lot of PC games that I love to play, like Diablo 3. Diablo 2 Resurrected is coming out. I pre-ordered, so I was able to play the early access beta. I got Baldur's Gate 3. Those are games that I love to play on PC, but I love RPGs. But I love Dragon Age, and Dragon Age 4 is supposedly coming out. They're working on it. I think it's supposed to come out, I think they said maybe next year? I'm not sure. Might be the year after that. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to double check. But I love PlayStation. And I hate the fact I feel like they just really shit the bed when they came out with the PS5. Because they couldn't even fill their pre-orders. It's like, come on.
So
you know you have a popular console. What are you doing with your lives over there? Like, it's a popular console. Why would you not have at least enough to fill your pre-orders?
True. Would you say a game like this, even if you're not necessarily interested in the survival horror, just the messaging and the way they've marketed it and the way they've pushed that it's a PlayStation exclusive, do you just feel like that could be that last slap in the face that people are just tired of it, so the way they show is go the other way? Especially, like I said, if you're playing games that...
I hate to say that, but probably. I mean, it's just one of those things.
Jay, what about you?
It's interesting that PlayStation, because from what I understand is PlayStation said that this is not Silent Hill, right?
I don't know if they came out. They didn't come out and say it. Just Blue Box Studios came out and said they are not affiliated with Kojima.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
was like a month
PlayStation.
ago. PlayStation hasn't said anything.
PlayStation is interesting because one, they don't say anything. Two, they just like to drop information on you and strategies and stuff, and it's really interesting. But I mean, if PlayStation is aware of the game and Blue Box really has been working on it and everything, I think PlayStation would have spun up the marketing machine a little bit to either support or to do something with it. Because if this is a game that is truly a massive fan base and people have been waiting for it, and this is a decider, because remember, if it's PlayStation exclusive, that's going to be a deciding factor in your shopping experience between Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam Deck, and Nintendo Switch. If it truly is a deciding factor and you're bleeding, you would probably reach out and go, hey, is this something that we should be working on together to be able to promote it, similar to like Spider-Man? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that PlayStation wouldn't be getting behind it or mentioning it or saying anything about it or anything, and just kind of letting it just kind of flutter there in the wind.
It's like the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, I mean, they're just kind of, PlayStation's kind of looking and being like, ugh, rolling their eyes and like, okay, we'll let you go. As James mentioned, we'll let you go hang yourselves. Here's the rope. Enjoy yourself. Like you go do dumb stuff over there. But if they really are coming up with the Silent Hill game, you figure PlayStation would sit there and go, hey, maybe we might want to talk about this, and maybe we want to tease it a little bit. We want to jump in the pool a little bit because this is a console deciding title.
Yeah.
I mean,
because it could be if it was marketed right.
And I know, speaking of exclusives, I don't want to dismiss chat right here. Ender Gaming jumping in and saying MLB, the show was a PlayStation exclusive till this year, and this year Xbox got it for free with Game Pass. PlayStation fans weren't happy. And I don't know how many of you know, like Ender, I don't know if you know the story behind that. That actually has to do with Major League Baseball itself. They own the licensing agreement. They basically went to Sony Studios and said, if you want to continue with our license, you will put the game everywhere. They wanted more money. They saw how much games make when they're cross-platform. It was super smart. I'm pretty sure with the way that the marketing and advertising and everything was going with Game Pass at the time, I'm sure there was probably some exec. I mean, it could be as simple as somebody in the financial department of Major League Baseball has a grandkid or a son that was like, I want to play Major League the show, but I can't play it because I have an Xbox. Can you buy me a PS5? And they were like, I'm buying another $500 console. I just bought you a $500 console. How come our game isn't on this system? I'm sure it could have been as dumb as that. But it is true.
You would be amazed at how often that happens.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like there's been major like tens of 20s and hundreds of millions of dollar decisions because somebody's kid came over and was like, hey, why can't I do that? And he's some executive in the marketing department and goes, well, shit, I don't know why. Hang on. And then there's a meeting the next week, and I've been in those meetings, and I'm currently in those meetings because right now for licensing, there's a really big event coming up here in about 2 weeks that I'm a part of, which is a global licensing expo, which is this huge show, and everyone's talking about it. And guess what? Capcom's there. I've got meetings with Capcom coming up. I've got meetings with Nintendo on the licensing side of things. I've got these meetings with them, and they really are just like super random conversations like this. Like I've affected things inside of WWE before just by having a conversation with the VP of marketing going, hey, why aren't you guys doing this? And he goes, well, hell, I don't know. We never thought about it. And so, James, I just want to let you know, you are 100% validated on this. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. It's crazy.
The thing that drives me nuts is the last comments, PlayStation fans weren't happy. That's just mind-boggling childish to me. This studio basically only makes this game. It is the best sports game, whether you like baseball or not. It is the best sports game that there is. The fact that you want to restrict them to one platform where they even being on Game Pass, the so-called free, people still want to buy it. They want to own things, right? They said sales are through the roof, even from Game Pass. Yes, you get the discount from Game Pass and all that, and it's amazing. But imagine if this studio didn't start generating more money. Those developers that make this game year in and year out are going to start going to other studios to work because they're, as cost of living. There's all kinds of things. But now they have more money. You can pay these people more money. I think it's great for this game. I think this game is going to be even better next year now that they have a full year to work on the PS5 and the Series consoles from Xbox. I don't know if it's PC or not. I don't remember, but I think it's going to be great with the cloud system that Microsoft has shared with them, the data, all the stuff. I think they're going to blow the roof off next year with that game. I think it's phenomenal.
You know what? I think what we're seeing is a broader effect of microtransactions.
Yep.
Because you don't take a category exclusive. Because I know when MLB The Show started with PlayStation, it was category exclusive. People are getting big chunks of money to say that it's on there. And that deal had to have been reworked. I bet you a lot of these games, especially that start off as exclusives, are now going on Game Pass. And I know we've talked about Game Pass before. And where's the money? Where's the money on on the game purchase? Because it's free. Is it really? There's got to be money in a transaction somewhere. And I bet you Game Pass is getting a chunk off of that back end, off the microtransactions, off the subscription services. I haven't played MLB The Show in a couple of years. I'm trying to think. I think it was like 18 was the last time I played it. But there's not a doubt in my mind that there's some sort of microtransaction system in there. And I bet you that's how Xbox is making that additional revenue. And that's why MLB goes, oh, well, we can set it on there. I don't care about your price point anymore. We want to, because they're going to get a cut off of all those transactions as well. And so, we are way beyond the tipping point of ever having a $90 price point on a game, and you get everything, and you get to grind it off. Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, so
Bye.
I want to bring it back to this abandon with one last ending here. Okay, so in my opinion, I know that a lot of people talk about, and even Kojima said this not too long ago, it's really hard to trick people. It's really hard to surprise anymore because of the data mining and all of these things. So, like, in my opinion, one of the most recent things in my memory, I guess in the last couple of years, that was like mind-blowing that they were able to hide it and pull it off and surprise people was the reveal of the Baby Yoda in the Mandalorian series. The fact that Disney... No, first of all, I know Disney's not suffering for money. But the fact that they probably lost out on millions of dollars by not producing a line to have ready for Christmas that year of just this product line. There was nothing. There was nothing for 7 months. Anything that was official. Of course, people making home-based products, all that stuff that was, Disney was starting to shut down as it went along. But they were able to hide that forever. So if this turns... And when that happened, everyone was excited. They were like blown away. This Baby Yoda, like we've never seen a different version of Yoda. Nothing ever in the Star Wars. No books, no nothing. So it was just this huge celebration. If Abandoned turns out to be Kojima, and it is a Silent Hill game, maybe it's not Silent Hill, but it's just a Kojima game. As a PlayStation fan, are you going to be excited? Or are you going to look back on these moments and be like, "Oh wow, you totally got us. This is amazing. This is going to be the greatest game of all time." Even if the game is absolutely amazing, or has it gone to the point that it's just like, it's just a joke?
You lied. You're a dick.
You think it's like no emotion?
See, okay, so there's a big difference. You know those viral videos that go, "Relax, bro, it's a prank," like because he's getting his ass kicked. Like, the prank is when both people laugh at the end of it and go, "Oh, haha, you got me," and the pranky and the pranker like can share a mutual experience. Like, it's fun. We're both laughing at it. One person being incredibly pissed and the other person trying to convince them it's a prank. It's not funny. It's not a prank. You're being an asshole. So in this particular case, and using your example of Baby Yoda, there's a very, very small amount of people that actually knew about it. Most of the licensors knew about it ahead of time. I knew about it ahead of time. However, there's a massive amount of contract that says if you ever want to work and do business with Disney or anything ever again, because just keep in mind, if that leaked, what they were doing was they were sending different like tagged photos and like different sort of things. So if your stuff leaked, you were responsible for the entire amount of damages to the series. Yeah, nobody wanted that smoke. So it's the same thing. Like, so when you have a surprise of something going along, introduction of a really amazing character like Baby Yoda, that's a surprise. Everyone goes, "Oh my God, that's great!" Now, if Disney had come out and said, "No, Baby Yoda's not going to be there. We're never doing anything with Baby Yoda. We're not even working with Lucas Light and Magic and the studio. There's no affiliation to everything." And then Baby Yoda pops out, everyone goes, "Ugh, like screw you, dude. Like that's not funny. That's not a prank. That's not a reveal. That's not something that's surprising." I think it's going to have a massive backlash, regardless.
Jay, just so you know, I think John Meserve, my buddy that's always watching on Facebook, I think he's a big fan of yours. He was very disappointed you weren't on the show last week. He agrees with, he just said, had been saying that for years. He definitely agrees with most of the stuff you say, so it always makes me laugh. He chimes in quite a bit. I think he occasionally likes your soapbox attacks. But Kia, what's your thoughts, final thoughts on this?
I agree with Jay on this. I think it's going to be a lot of backlash. I really do.
I'm going to make if someone's out there that's more talented than I am, if you could 3D print me a little soapbox, I'll put it right here on the bottom of all the podcasts. And it'll just be like, and if you could put like a little LED light, and I'll just activate it. It'd be like soapbox activated. And it's like just like comes up and everything. It'd be great.
It comes up and it even says Jay's soapbox.
Yeah, and dramatic music and smoke. That would help too. So dramatic music and smoke.
That would be amazing. All right, so as I can see as this goes along, in my opinion, I think that the PlayStation fan base is going to hit some extreme depression with this game just laughably. I would be shocked if the game even comes out. I can't wait till the announcement of, sorry, we're not going to finish this game just like the last 8 games we supposedly were working on. There's nothing. Yeah. It's gonna put these.
I don't even know how the studio's getting funded right now. What do they have out? Like,
it's gonna put these people in severe depression. So with that being said, I want to go to our main topic. When you've been really down, you've been down in the dumps, you've been out of it. What is a game? Because these PlayStation people might need it. They might need our advice. We don't have to talk about. We're not going to talk about exactly what our issue was. What kind of took us to the bottom. But was there a game at some point in your life, in your adult life, I don't want to go back to when you were like 10, Jay, in your adult life, a game that you leaned into that you just happened to pick up and play, and it wasn't even a multiplayer game, most likely single player game probably, and it just took your worries away for a time being. Kia, we'll go with you first.
Had 2 games.
Okay.
Fable and Dragon Age.
Okay, now what can you just talk about the game a little bit? What kind of took your mind off of life? I mean, like I said, we don't have to go too far into what's going on, but
yeah, no, honestly, it was just being able to be like just get out and like really get into the story that was involved. Like in Fable, and I don't know if anybody else knows anything about it. It's something that me and my husband both absolutely love. Fable was an Xbox game. My husband is an Xbox person, so please don't hate him.
Fable's one of the best games of all time.
He was an Xbox person, and he was a huge Halo person as well. But Fable was definitely one of our games that we leaned on to a lot. It was great because you could play, you got to play as a kid. You started out as a kid, and you turned out to be this kid that had powers and was raised as a hero. Like, they taught you how to be a hero. But what's great is the way you reacted or the way you did something was either good or bad, and it weighed as to whether you were actually a hero or a villain. And of course, I would be running around Halo, butterflies all over my head, and my husband's over there like with horns and shit. Like, anytime he had a chance to be bad, he did it. And I'm just like, no, gotta be good. Gotta be good.
And do you feel like that just kind of like took some worry away with everything else?
It did, because it was just, I could really just get into the story and forget everything. Fable and Dragon Age are literally like one of the 2 games that I can actually like sit there and play for hours on end and like completely forget about time. Just completely forget about it. Like, just so involved. And there was one night I had picked up Dragon Age Inquisition not that long ago on PlayStation because it came out on PlayStation. And I was like, oh, I want to play it again. I was probably up to like 4 o'clock in the morning. Didn't even realize it. And I was like, I happened to just do something. I think I got up to get something to drink. And I look at the time, I was like, oh shit. My son's going to be up in like 2 hours. I need to go to bed. It just drags you in. It's just, it's one of those games I can really
got its hooks into you.
Yeah, I could just lose myself for hours on end.
I know when
yeah, those are my 2 games.
In Facebook, John Meserve says Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3. He's huge Mega Man advocate.
Oh, Mega Man.
He's also a big Halo fan. He kind of got me back into really enjoying and playing Halo a few years ago, not too long ago. But Jay, what about you? Any games pop up when you've had kind of a hard time in life and you just kind of want to escape that have really feel like they helped you?
So the games that really just kind of suck me in, I'm gonna give you 2 titles, and then I'm gonna give you a philosophical answer. So my 2 titles are probably SimCity and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
The original Battlefront 2, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Where you can just drop in as a hero and just murder people for just all afternoon, like, because that's really it. Just, how awesome as a Star Wars fan can you be dropped into the Battle of Hoth and just get after it, and you're pretending to be a badass, and Luke Skywalker's running around, and there comes Darth Vader. Like, it's really, for me, it was always really fun. And then SimCity, I've always loved, that kind of like world building kind of thing. But then, for me, it's always been the third one is, as the development of internet speed and the ability to be able to talk to people and over headphones and everything else, for me it's always been whatever the boys are playing, because that's really kind of like how I can connect. I own 2 companies, I've got 2 kids, a wife, everything. Like, I'm not calling anyone. Like, if you call me, like, I will always answer because I think you're dead. Because that's really the only time that I have time for like phone calls and everything else. So for me, it's always, kind of the SimCity, the Battlefront 2, and then most recently it's whatever the boys are playing, because we can jump on, we can hang out, and I can tell you right now, James and I have done the same dumb shit before, where all of a sudden I'm like, man, why am I so tired? Damn, I'm hungry as hell. What time is it? Same thing, 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh God, those kids get up whether the alarm's set or not. Like, oh no. But you're so keyed up from playing and like the adrenaline and everything else. You're just like, oh, I just have pain in my future, pain. And then my spouse, my wife, Jamie, she's no sympathy. She's like, you're a grown-ass man. You do whatever you want, but you're getting your ass up. You're being in the good mood with the kids. Like, you're going to pay. You're going to pay tomorrow. You can do whatever you want, but you're going to pay.
It's like okay, one more game. One more game. I gotta go one more game.
Yeah.
It's like 20 games later.
Yeah, it's always, we talk about this all the time on stream and stuff. It's always one more game. One more game. One more game.
It's
I
like
just
fishing.
want to get a positive KD. One more game.
Yeah. Like, okay, let's at least go out on a win.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going to say. Like, obviously, for those that listen, like James and I, we play a lot of Call of Duty, and it's always like, oh, God, we finished like 30th. Now we got to get like a top 5, and then we get like a second place, and then we're like, man, dude, we could totally get first place. Let's drop in one more time.
If we die instantly.
And so it's
Just
like
one more time.
Yeah, it's like the fishing thing. Like when you go out to go fishing, like you're on the fish. Well, you can't stop because you're catching all the fish. Well, then it slows down. Well, shit. I can't go in right now. I haven't caught anything in a while. I got to stay out longer. Same thing with video games, man. It's awesome.
You know, for me, a game that really helped me, you know, I had some big loss in our family, and it got me. I mean, I'm telling you, I was bottom of the barrel. I didn't want to play any multiplayer games with people. I didn't want to get on the Xbox party chat. I didn't want to talk to any of my friends, and I just kind of hovered. And this game, just out of the blue, it finally come to Xbox. It had been out on PlayStation, I think, for a year at this time. So I pulled it up, and it just was easy playthrough. Totally kind of took me away from everything. The game was super story heavy, and the game's called Firewatch. For those that may not have heard of it, was a PlayStation exclusive for a while. It's kind of like almost like a walking simulator with just more stuff and puzzle. And you're this guy that is constantly working in like Firewatch towers out in the forest, and the only narration with the game is that you're constantly talking with this woman over this radio back and forth. And the game's actually kind of sad, but I don't know, it just really hit me. It really kind of took me out of a funk for a while. And I think sometimes people forget video games are fun. They can be addictive, but in my opinion, they can also be therapeutic. I don't know if it's an official thing that any, licensed therapist would say it's a good idea to do, or you're just, trying to avoid things.
But sometimes you just need that solace. Yeah. Like, you just need that time, because like games like Fable or Dragon Age that drug me into them, it mentally shut me down. Like, I could just mentally shut my brain off.
Correct.
And sometimes you need that, like, because there's times. I mean, as a mom and any parent, you go to bed, your brain's just nonstop. It doesn't stop, and so it's hard to get my brain to just want to shut down. So sometimes a game like that can do that to you. It's nice because your brain just is like, oh, cool. Autopilot.
Ender Gaming makes a good point in the comments. Ender Gaming says that you get to be someone else for a few hours, and it is true. Like, yes. It's kind of like, for me, I love going to the movies at the movie theater. I usually buy a movie pass. I probably watch, at least before COVID, I would probably go to the movie theater, honestly, by myself once a week. Everyone's like, what do you mean you go by yourself? First of all, listen, you're not supposed to be freaking talking during the movie anyways. So shut up, because I'm trying to watch the movie. So who cares if I went by myself? I don't care. I'm just there to enjoy it. And it's just like, I have a 15-month-old, so it's funny that now I'll leave my phone on, or I'll leave my watch on, because I just in case an emergency happens. But before that, I was able to just literally turn my phone off, and I just didn't exist to the world for 2 hours. And It was just a great feeling to disconnect. I've got, John Reserve says in the Facebook comments, he says, it's good being Mega Man for an hour every now and then. For sure, Mega Man is awesome. I wish I could be Mega Man in real life sometimes. But I think that it's for a while. Yeah, I think it's super important. Now, of course, my son's, just coming up on his 15 months, but for you two, you have some older kids. Have you seen your own kids ever jump into a game when they look like they're down or depressed? Has there been anything you've seen them play to kind of raise their spirits? I know they're still kind of young and they haven't hit that, but have you seen that at all?
I can say, Kane, who's 5, I can say that, like, when we're out in a big crowd, like if we're at a family function or something like that, and it gets to the point where he gets a little overstimulated and it's a little too much for him, and he asks for his tablet. And he will sit down with his tablet, and he will sit there and play. And I feel like that kind of helps him cope with there being so many people around him, because he gets overstimulated with that. And it's not that he doesn't love people, because he does. He's just like me. But in being just like me, he also needs that time to himself, where he's just like, okay, this is just too many people. Like, this is just too much. I gotta go sit in my own little corner and like recharge, reload. And he'll get on his tablet and he'll do that. So I do think that things like that can be good for them.
And Jay, what about you?
Both of my kids love being the life of the party. So they are absolutely fabulous. Well, I don't know. But but who does need that time though is my wife Jamie. So she is a extrovert introvert. Like when she goes out, she loves to be with people and everything. But she does. So it's almost like she's got a social bucket, and when that bucket's full, she's got to go someplace, get rid of it and like come back, and she can come back into it. And she's got just some games on her phone that she plays, just kind of the resource building map things that she plays. It just kind of calms her down. It's funny that you mentioned the whole like mom brain needs to shut down at the end of the night, and that's what she does for about a half hour or so. Like before, she just kind of tunes out, and it's either hey Jay, look at this TikTok, look at this TikTok, look at this TikTok, or it's or it's her on her game, trading supplies with her guild, and making sure all of her farms have been farmed and her plants have been harvested. So
yep, I get it. I have a couple games like that on my phone where I'm like, okay, I gotta go feed the cows. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta go collect eggs from the chicken. So I get that, because you need that time where you just need to unwind and just get your brain to start like autopilot, shut down, just stop thinking for a little bit.
For sure.
So I get that.
All right, guys. Well,
yeah, I don't have that problem.
It's true. I think that's going to wrap up our episode. But before we say goodbye, I just want to remind everyone, Last Choice Network on YouTube. Please look us up there. Give us a like on this episode that will show up tomorrow as the rerun and kind of be on the podcast channel. Also, if you're on Apple or Spotify, a like or a review on the Apple podcast goes a long way to really help us out on the Parents First Gaming podcast. But before we say goodbye, I kind of want to know what you guys what's going on in your life, what's going on this week. Where can people find you if you are streaming? I know Kia does, I know Jay doesn't. But Jay, what's going to take up your time this week?
I'm really going to be looking for a 3D printing company here locally. I'm going to be making an investment into like a little mini soapbox that can like pop up on the screen, smoke, lights, some sort of dramatic entrance music. I might reach out to John Williams, see if he can score me up something. But other than that, it's really, first day of school tomorrow for the kiddos. So getting them going with that again, and then getting them back into that routine, which as James, you'll get there, but she understands what I'm saying as far as, getting back into that grind, getting back into that routine, and then high school football. Let's go.
All right, Kia, what about you?
Surprisingly, we've been in the grind all. I do homeschool, so he has not had a break from school.
Bully.
Well, and the thing is like people say that, but I literally asked him to do like an hour. That's it. Like an hour worth of schoolwork during the day. Like that's it. Do something like do some math problems. Do some words or something like that. Like just an hour's worth. That's it. And you would think I was asking this kid to do it for like 24 hours. Okay? Like he starts melting down, and I'm just like, dude, it's an hour. That's it. I can send you to public school, and you can go sit at a desk for 8 hours if you want.
No, Jay, just in case you didn't know, also Kia forces her kid to play FPS shooter games because she's trying to force him to be a professional player so she can retire on his money as esports grows.
Exactly. He's gonna buy me a private jet. So
he's pretty good though.
He is pretty decent for a 5-year-old. I will give him that. But I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This Saturday will be a special stream though, and I'll be starting a little earlier because this Saturday I will be doing my live baking stream that everybody chipped their points in for the community challenge.
What are we baking on this baking stream, and what time? Okay. What time does it start? What time zone are you on?
I haven't
special brownies.
I haven't figured out the times. No. So I feel like
Mama needs to relax a little bit, brownies.
Mama needs to relax. No, but I do plan on. I think I'm going to do so because my husband's the one who's going to have to be eating these things.
You did what? Excuse me.
I said my husband's the one who's going to be having to eat.
So
these
what are you
things.
making?
So I will butterscotch chip cookies.
Well, guys,
it's
it was a
not what
great
you
podcast.
think. It was
We
shut
ended
up.
on a
It's
banger.
not what you think. But I will also
The
be
4
making
people
those
that like butterscotch, you'll be able to watch Kia's stream on Saturday. Now, wait, can I okay, can I ask a question? If someone like me watched your baking stream, but I didn't like butterscotch, is there a point in the stream that you could say, at this point, if you wanted this flavor instead, this is what you would
Yes.
do? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's all I
There
need
will
to
be.
know.
Yes.
Look, let's not take cooking advice from the guy who can't do a bird. Okay, anybody
boy.
who's allergic to chicken or any sort of poultry doesn't get an opinion on food.
Oh goodness.
Wow. Went there. So what time? What time are we on, and what's your channel?
I haven't quite decided yet. I can put my channel in there if you want.
But for people that are
listening
listening later, watching the YouTube video later, where can they find you?
It's twitch.tv backslash or forward slash, I don't remember.
Jay's
And
crawling
it's
in his shit right now.
Just say slash.
K-A, yeah, just say slash. KANE0801. So, yes,
So twitch.tv/Kia Kane.
Yes. But if you say Kia, they're going to spell it wrong.
Kill a Kane.
Killa Kane. They
Isn't
will.
your
They
son's
will
name
spell it
Kane?
wrong. Yes, it is.
Hmm.
It's my first name and his first name.
It does sound like a pretty sweet ass like lead,
I mean, when you look
like
at it,
R&B
when people look
singer
at it,
or like rap
they
singer.
instantly look
Like,
at it. They do. They instantly
Like-
look at it and go, Killa.
yeah, no, absolutely. Like I've got tickets to the Killa Kane concert this weekend.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
if you want to
yeah.
find me, you can find me on twitch.tv/IamTheGamingDad, and we're gonna put up some stuff on Last Choice Network this week as well. Also, I might be trying a new style game with Master of Shadows. For those that have seen him on the podcast, we're not really sure. And also, within the next couple of weeks, we're gonna come back with a round 2 of an anime episode. We'll probably get Master Shadows to rejoin us there as well with another guest, and I know
Oh, God.
Jay's excited for another
More
round
tentacles.
another
Tentacles.
round of tentacles. I think it could be a lot of fun, and I'm sure
Oh boy.
if Jordan can't make it, I'm sure we'll probably have Kia join us for that. But everyone else, thank you so much once again. This is episode 21. I actually never thought Jay and I would be focused enough to go this far with it. Thank you to Jordan, who's
No.
not here tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow, I believe, Alexis Jordan 98 on Twitch is doing her birthday stream. So if you're listening to this in the morning, go over to her channel. It's going to be a birthday stream. She does a lot of crazy stuff. She took a pie in the face. Who knows what antics she's going to get up to tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's
that
going to be a
was
blast. But I hope everyone has a great rest of the night and a great week. And we will see you guys next Sunday. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.